The Dodgers have just made their first big move of the 2024 offseason. They have agreed to sign Blake Snell. That's right, Blake Snell, the same pitcher who was pitching for the San Francisco Giants, will now be with the Dodgers in the 2025 season. This is absolutely massive. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 12% of you, the ones that are watching these videos, who've already hit the sub button, but 87% of you have not subscribed yet. Myself and Brad J are bringing you everyday Dodger content. We're bringing you breaking news. We're the best Dodger channel out there, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. The Dodgers and Blake Snell have agreed to a 5-year deal. That's right. This has just been reported less than 15 minutes ago. Blake Snell and the Dodgers have agreed to a 5-year contract, reports Mike Feinstein of MLB.com. ESPN's Jeff Passan reports on X the deal, which is paying a physical, guarantees Snell $182 million. So 5 years, $182 million. That's the kind of contract that Blake Snell was looking for, in these last years. You got to remember, he turned down a big contract offer last year from the Yankees. And, well, now he's wearing Dodger blue. This is absolutely massive. The Dodgers, of course, this is also being reported. Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic is reporting that the deal does include some deferred money. We know about that deferred money. We know the Dodgers have been working that deferred money, deal with other players such as Shohei Ohtani. Well, it looks like we don't have the exact details yet on how much money has been deferred because this is just breaking news. But this is absolutely massive. Get used to it. Blake Snell going to be wearing Dodger blue in 2025. This guy has always been one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Got to go back, of course, in 2020. He was on the Tampa Bay Rays when the Dodgers played them in the World Series. And, he was a tough pitcher then, and he's still a tough pitcher now. Taking a look at, this past season in 2024, at the start of July, his ERA was 9.51 through 6 starts. He definitely had a rough start to kick off 2024, had injuries. There was a lot of pressure from the Giants, and the fans were upset, and it was bad, right? But then guess what happened in the second half of the year after coming back from the IL on July 9th? He posted a 1.23 ERA, a 1.23 ERA. That is not an error right there. Across his final 14 starts with 114 strikeouts in 80 innings. Absolutely massive numbers, right? These are some crazy stats because Blake Snell was absolutely, he was great in the second half of 2024. Fortunately, fortunately for us, the Giants, stink, right? That's what we want. But the Giants didn't make the playoffs in 2024, even despite having Blake Snell having an exceptional second half to the year. I mean, it was absolutely amazing what Blake Snell did in the second half of 2024, and that's why, in my opinion, the money is absolutely deserved for Blake Snell. Some might say it's a bit too much, but the Dodgers got the money. They're deferring some of this money. It's not going to count. Not all this money is going to count in the year-to-year cap, right? Because I think that's what some people are wondering. Well, they're already kind of, into the luxury tax, right, with all these guys they have. But we don't know how much money is going to get deferred, so that could really help the Dodgers out if they could defer a lot of this money, later on once Blake Snell is, probably done with his career, right? Kind of like Shohei Ohtani. So this is absolutely massive. Like I reported on the channel in the days leading up to this signing, I can clearly remember talking about this just a couple days ago. Corbin Burnes, of course, Garrett Crochet, Blake Snell, all these guys were kind of up there for the Dodgers, taking. And I said the Dodgers are going to try to get at least one of these guys, right? And that's exactly what they've done. They've gotten now one of these guys. The question is, who else are they going for, right? Roki Sasaki is still in the conversation. I don't really know about the other two guys now, Garrett Crochet, Corbin Burnes. Now with the Blake Snell signing, that might have kind of taken them out of the conversation because they are spending a lot of money to get Blake, and they can't have too many pitchers, right? And I think the interest is still there for Roki, but this is exactly what the Dodgers were trying to do. They wanted to sign another elite pitcher, somebody that they can rely on in the big playoff games, because let's not forget, this past season, the Dodgers won the World Series with just 3 starting pitchers. That's right, 3 starting pitchers. You can't see my third finger. 3 starting pitchers. So that doesn't happen, right? That just does not happen on a regular basis, right? It just does not happen. The Dodgers had a historic offensive output in the 2024 season, right? I mean, that's the name of the game for them, the offense. But they're probably not going to be able to repeat that again in 2025. And if they want to go back-to-back and win one more World Series than the hated Giants, because right now the Dodgers have the same amount of World Series as the Giants. If they want to jump the Giants next year, then they're going to have to get better pitching. And Blake Snell could be that answer to join this rotation. What do you guys think? Comment below. Is this exactly what the Dodgers are looking for in the offseason? Is this potentially the biggest move that they're going to make this whole offseason, right? I mean, this could be the biggest splash for the Dodgers in this entire offseason. How aggressive can the Dodgers really be, with already a World Series winning team, right? I mean, this is as aggressive as you can get, trying to get players on your team when you already won a World Series, right? Because Blake Snell he's trying to win a World Series himself, but the Dodgers just won a World Series, right? I mean, this is not like Blake Snell doesn't come to the Dodgers as like the final piece to get them to win a championship. This team already won a championship last year, so this is just another Dodgers signing that other teams just can't compete with the capital the Dodgers have and the influence and just the Dodgers, right? The brand name Dodgers has turned into the biggest brand name in baseball. The biggest team in baseball right now is the Dodgers, right? They could basically get anybody they want. They are even able to get into conversations with Juan Soto, right? An outfielder that, for some is not really a pitcher, not really a player that the Dodgers would consider because they have Teoscar Hernandez, but they're even still trying to get him, right? Because they have the money to sign basically anybody they want. And tonight, that proves it once again that Blake Snell is coming to the Dodgers on a very lucrative contract, right? It's 5 years. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for the Giants. We know that. The Giants were not going to pay this kind of money for Blake Snell. Blake Snell opted out of his contract with the Giants, and the Giants just did not want to offer this kind of money to Blake Snell. They didn't think he was worth it. What do you guys think? Do you think Blake Snell is worth the 5 years, $180 million that the Dodgers are going to be paying him reportedly? What do you guys think? Do you think the Dodgers are paying too much for Blake Snell? I personally think it's a fair deal. They're not paying too much. The Dodgers need pitching. They have a lot of question marks. Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty probably out the door. Tyler Glasnow, as we know, gets injured a lot. Clayton Kershaw, what kind of Kershaw are we going to see if he signs with the Dodgers, which is expected to sign with the Dodgers? Ohtani has a lot of injuries. We don't know if he's going to be ready for 25. There's too many question marks. Dustin May, Tony Gosselin, all these guys are coming off of injuries, and Blake Snell's not. Blake Snell is healthy. He is ready to go. He's going to be up there with the Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, for me, is the opening day starter. And number 2, boy, I think it's got to be Blake Snell. I mean, it's got to be Blake Snell or Tyler Glasnow, but I probably would give it to Blake Snell. I mean, the guy had a 1.23 ERA last year in the second half of the year. That's more than enough to be the number 2 starter. And if things go wrong with Yamamoto, he could jump in and be the number 1 guy. So this is absolutely massive. I'm super excited for 2025. I'm sure you are as well. And it's going to be great to see Blake Snell wearing Dodger blue. Come on, he came to the right team. He left the worst team in California, the Giants, and he came to the best. Let's go Dodgers. As always, subscribe. Woo!